This part looks great in the finished show, but it was really hysterical.
I hated pushing you. It's just weird.
And then this guy was
You were
funny.
so stressed out. Like, your character was so stressed out, I felt bad.
I remember one time you pushed me so hard the picture fell off the wall. And then we just, then it was one of those laughy, definitely funny bits.
It was funny.
Hey, Summer, can you talk about the process a little bit? Your acting process, like on a show like this, which is so demanding, and you have to play, obviously a number of different characters. Do you sort of compartmentalize as you go? Do you say, well, I just have to get through, so many days, and then I'm a quarter of the way through, or is it a day-by-day thing, or scene-by-scene thing, or how do you manage your energy getting through something like this?
Well,
is it a conscious thing?
Sometimes I don't do it well, Josh saw that. I think I was so worked up over this episode, and this day was my biggest day. And I felt a lot of responsibility to the material.
I want to get to know.
But then again, like I said, it's so well written. I really had a great time.
Shows you. I don't know what you're talking about. I admire him. His determination.
Something I will say, Summer, about your voice here. It's interesting, because, I take Cameron's voice as Cameron's voice, but hearing you do Allison's voice as well, Cameron almost has this kind of little girl angelic quality to her voice that you do. And when you're doing Allison, you sound like a woman, which is kind of interesting to think that the Terminator would think that maybe she'd be more appealing if she made the voice a little softer and a little sweeter. It's kind of
all I
interesting.
wanted was for it to be more polished. I wasn't trying to make it sound sweeter necessarily. I wanted it to sound more more perfect version of.
It sounds smoother.
Yes, smoother.
Yeah,
And I think what's also incredible is that version of Cameron you play different than the version of Cameron that normally exists, because that's a version of Cameron that's never met John or done anything. That's the not reprogrammed version. So that's the fourth character.
Well, that was when she was fresh too.
Yeah.
I thought of it like that. It was sort of when Cameron was born, and so I wanted it to be different than present day Cameron.
Now, when Cameron says some of us want peace, Josh,
is she telling
is she
the
lying,
truth?
or is she, because she then grabs her later and says, that was my major interest as the sci-fi geek watching this episode, was lying.
I think she's lying.
Yeah, I think so too. Because she hasn't been reprogrammed, that Terminator. She actually wants to kill
It's
him.
a scariest moment.
And hang his head on a pike for all to see.
Yeah, I
That
never
line,
understood
Josh,
that.
just look at that look.
And here, of course, Cameron is starting to really identify with the violent, with dark pre-reprogrammed original. She's
an infiltrator now.
She's an infiltrator, original Terminator.
She's gathering information and being predatory.
And you can see she starts to ask a lot of the same questions that, it's supposed to. Her interrogation here is supposed to echo her interrogation of Allison. So this parallels that scene.
I got it at the
So when she starts asking questions like, "Oh no, we know what's coming."
Tell me about the necklace.